Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a very special video as I will be discussing the 2-year anniversary for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, my absolute favorite video game of all time. The Legend of Zelda series is not just my favorite game series, but an absolutely defining part of who I am as a person. And I never thought that a game like Ocarina of Time, a game that so perfectly encapsulates the sense of magic and wonder and fantasy that I so much hold near and dear to my heart, I never thought it could ever be topped. All of the Zelda games, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and Link Between Worlds, each one of them I absolutely adore as a masterpiece, yet none of them could quite reach the pinnacle of Ocarina of Time. But on March the 3rd, 2017, for the Wii U and the Nintendo Switch, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was released to the world. The game went back to the formula started by the very first Zelda game on the NES, in which Link, the player, is free to traverse the world in any order he wants, go to any village, any shrine, any temple, tackle the story in any area in any order he wants. Yet the game is so much more than the many golden sums of its parts. I could talk endlessly about all of the individual pieces that make this game so wonderful. From the absolutely terrific combat system that is so refined and so varied that it remains the best of not just any Zelda game, but arguably of any 3D action-adventure game ever made. While there are fewer enemies than past Zelda games, they're all so much more dynamic in their characteristics and how you approach every combat situation. From going in head-on with your sword, axe, spear, or what have you, to flying over them and dropping a bomb on their unsuspecting noggins, to sneaking up on them in the middle of the night or in the middle of a rainstorm, to shooting arrows at them. There is just so many ways you can go about these combat situations. I could talk about the wonderful design of the world with its many mountains, climbing up to the top of the highest peak and watching the sun set or the sun rise over Hyrule Castle, to the wonderful sound effects that perfectly integrate natural sounds with the beautifully constructed piano pieces, to just the sheer perfection of the gameplay itself. And all of that would be amazing to talk about. But what really sets this game apart from every other Zelda game and every other game I have ever played is the sheer freedom of this game. The freedom to climb anything, from the smallest tree post to the highest lamppost, to the Temple of Time, to any flat cliff, to the very walls of Hyrule Castle itself. You can climb anything. You can soar off of the tallest tower or mountain into any direction. From the highest mountain to the lowest valley. You can go anywhere you can see on this map. If you can see it, you can go to it. Anywhere you see, you can go to. In any location in this world. The only hindrance in this game is your own imagination. Chances are, if you can imagine it, you can do it. This game has the most freedom of any game I have ever played in my life. The world itself feels like your own playground, like your own garden, like it is yours. Everything in this world is a bountiful series of locations, all seamlessly blended together. No segmented forests or deserts or fields. Everything is so seamless. It is one giant world in which you are free to explore in any order, in any capacity that you want. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. This game is absolutely amazing, and it more than lives up to my expectations. It has a story that begins really after the final act, in which Hyrule itself has been completely and utterly demolished. As you explore the world, you feel like you're picking up little pieces of the past, forming your own story of what happened, which complements the already solid narrative that the main game is able to tell. But the real story is what you make of it. I could talk endlessly about this game. All the little individual touches, the perfect blend of realism and fantasy that this game has, to the absolutely terrific shrines in this game that offer unquestionably the best puzzles the Zelda series has ever seen in their bite-sized dungeons. Yes, obviously some can nitpick certain elements of this game from a Zelda peer's perspective, but when you look at the game as a whole, when you look at the whole picture, it is so much more than the sum of its parts that the game completely makes whatever small, minute issues that it might have beyond insignificant. The game is just so incredible from start to finish. Every second you play this game, you'll be enjoying the absolute heck out of it. There is no other game like this on the market. No other single player game, no other multiplayer game, no other Zelda game. This game has pretty much everything that I love about video games in it, and it is no question that it managed to become my favorite game of all time, as Nintendo truly created a game that will be looked back on for years and years to come. This is a game that future Zelda games will have a hard time living up to, as it truly set a benchmark for open world gaming, and set a new standard for Zelda and for Nintendo games in general. Guys, I just wanted to say thank you to Nintendo, thank you to Hidemaru Fujibayashi, thank you to Eiji Aonuma, thank you to everyone at Nintendo for crafting such a wonderful and what I dare say timeless classic. One that can stand tall with the very greats, with the games like Ocarina of Time, Super Metroid, Super Mario Galaxy 2. The absolute best games Nintendo has ever made, and the absolute best games that have ever been made. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is a game that will continuously take your breath away, as it does me. Even now, 2 years later, whenever I go back to play it, I'm still awed and wowed by the sheer beauty, by the sheer power of the freedom of this game. Just the sheer discovery, the sheer joy that I get playing this game, and discovering the Hyrule that is truly yours for the taking, truly yours for the adventuring, and truly yours for the fun and pleasure. No other game has ever been so satisfying by just being in its world, and Breath of the Wild was a game that managed to pull it off perfectly. I just want to say, for you watching, thank you for watching this video for The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and thank you to Nintendo for crafting an absolute masterpiece in game design. If you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel for more Zelda and Nintendo related content, and I hope to see you all soon. Take care, my friends. God bless.
Falcon Punch!
Thank you for watching. Subscribe!